Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Dr. Ojo. Today let's talk about a feedback that someone sent to me about an excellent application that was ultimately rejected. Now what we are going to do is read the feedback together, then I'll try to break down why the application was rejected and what you can do in your own case to fix this before you submit your application. So just like I said earlier, this was sent to me by one of the folks in our peer mentoring group for the fall 2022 admission cycle. And the first part of the email, he was just raving about the fact that I actually gave them this subject as one of the assignments during our last meeting. So don't focus on that. The next thing we want to do is to read the actual email. So let's read it together, and I'm going to break it down in a bit. Thank you for your email. So let me try to use the pen or the laser pointer here. All right, so thank you for your email. You had an excellent application to our PhD program this fall, and it is hard to find advice on what you can do to improve for next year. Our faculty use an admission rubric to evaluate candidates, and your scores were quite high. We had an unusually large applicant pool this year, and the applications were all very good. You had a very strong application. It was just a very competitive year. You always do have the option to apply again for next year. The application will be open on August 1 and close on December 1. If you do decide to reapply, the only suggestion I would give to you would be to strengthen your statement of purpose and to be very clear about your future goals and what you hope to achieve with a PhD. Your statement mentions communication, sustainable development goals, and leadership. These are three different areas of research in our department, and most PhD students have a specialization such as agricultural communication, leadership, or extension, or international development. The great thing about our program is that you can ultimately combine all these areas of study, but they are typically is a focus in one area. I think that should be there typically. The faculty themselves have different areas of specialization and are drawn to applications that clearly articulate goals aligned with their research interests. Your lowest area of evaluation was in program fit, and in looking at the application, I can see that it was not immediately clear what your ultimate research or career goals would be. Your score in this area was still high and would have been a successful application had it been evaluated 2 years ago. It just so happens that this past year, the application cycle was more competitive. I hope this is helpful information. Now listen, programs, from all the reports I've heard, programs are getting increased applications. It's becoming very much competitive, mostly because I think in the past year, a lot of programs have started doing away with the GRE. So that barrier, since that barrier is gone for most programs now, there seems to be an increased level of application into several top programs. So it's going to be more competitive, and everything matters. Everything now matters when it comes to selecting candidates that are fit for individual programs. Now, like I said, let's break it down together. Now, just focus on the highlighted parts. So again, this was an excellent application. An excellent application. And right here, she said, or he, I don't know, the person said, the only suggestion he would have is to strengthen your statement of purpose and to be very, very clear about the future goals and what you hope to achieve with a PhD. In other words, why do you need a master's or PhD? Why? I know that question is very difficult for a lot of us, and it's hard to be clear, but it's something you just have to write out and, refine over several weeks in order to make sure that this is specific and clear enough and also competitive for the particular program you are going to apply to. Now, I made a video, I think about a year ago, on this, talking about why you need a master's and PhD. And I said in that video, I would link the video below if you want to see that again. It's a very short video, and it's also on our Instagram page, I believe, Bestman Academy. Now, I said in that video that when you are trying to determine your why, this is not really the career that you hope to get into after your PhD. It's not really, for example, a lot of people say, I want to become a professor. Now, that's okay, but this is not really a good why, because there are a lot of people who are teaching in higher institutions without a PhD, around the world. Now, why you really need a PhD or a master's is what you are going to do or what you are going to be involved in while you are pursuing that career. So if you know the type of research you're going to do long term, that's your why. It's not really the position, but what you are going to do while you are in that position. Now, I gave a few examples. If you want to, maybe if you're on Twitter, check my Twitter handle, Bestman Ojo, and there are more examples on our Instagram page, Bestman Academy, of some why of some of the successful students I have been privileged to mentor over the years. So if you want to see those examples to kind of have an idea of how to be specific when it comes to choosing your why or writing out your why, it typically will be 1 to 2 sentences of why you need this PhD. Now, I'll refer you to that. I'm not going to go over examples, but like I said, you can try to see some examples. I might display some on the screen right now, but please either check that video or go to our Instagram page and look at examples. So let's continue. Now, you can see here that this particular candidate mentioned that he wanted to specialize or do communication, sustainable development goals, and leadership. So, and the complaint here is it's, people specialize in something specific, right? Now, and he said the faculty, now faculty is usually the group of professors in a department that decide a lot of admission related stuff and how the department moves forward in all scholarly areas. So you can use the word professor for faculty if you are an international student and you are not familiar with that term. So the faculty themselves have different areas of specialization. If you notice when you go to professors' pages, you will notice that they kind of have narrow areas where they, dig into for research. So they don't just talk about broad stuffs. They are kind of specific in their research area. So I'm sure they will prefer students that are starting to think in that area as well, be specific. Now, of course, your why can change during your PhD or even after. A lot of people change fields after. I'm one of those people who are trying to do something different apart from that narrow area of training. So it can change, but for the purpose of admission, this is important to at least give them something that they want. So like you see here, the faculty are drawn to applications that clearly articulate goals aligned with their research interest. In other words, when you describe your why, that why must align with the interest of at least one professor in the department. I know some of you will maybe apply to a department where you don't really need to contact a professor before you submit an application. So in other words, you get to select an advisor after you are admitted. So in that case, what you are going to write as your why should align with at least one person's interest, one professor's interest, excuse me, in the department. Now, if you have to select an advisor, in some programs, you have to select an advisor or have an advisor before you even apply, then of course you want to include that research area in your statement of purpose for the advisor that you have selected, that have agreed to be your mentor. Now, let's continue. So again, remember, it has to align with one professor's interest in the department. Now, your lowest area of evaluation was in program fits. I'll come back to that later. But look at the red highlight here. It was not immediately clear what your ultimate research or career goals would be. Now, if you have seen the statement of purpose lessons that we have on this channel, there are actually 5 of them because I tried to break it down paragraph by paragraph with examples. You will notice that right from the start in paragraph 1, I reiterated that your purpose should shine right from paragraph 1. It's called a statement of purpose for a reason, right? It's a statement of purpose. So your purpose should be clear right from the start. Now, because if it's not clear from the start, you might lose the reader. They don't want to, read a lot of stories because these guys are reading a lot of SOPs from other candidates. So you want to be, brief and as clear as you can right from the start, so that you can catch their interest and make them even read your statement of purpose till the end. Now, it should be immediately clear right from the start. So if you have not seen those statement of purpose videos, please check them out. I'm going to also link them in the description below. Now, going back to program fit. Now, a component of program fit is, of course, aligning your why with a particular faculty in the department. Now, another component, that's what most people do, tell them that program is great for this training that I'm hoping to get so that I can do so and so. But the most competitive candidates, they don't only do that, they also tell the department what they are bringing to the table. Or if you are writing to a professor in an email, you don't only say, man, I like your lab or your department. I think it would be a great environment for my development. Yeah, that's all well and good. I'm sure they will appreciate that. But in some cases, they might want to know the qualities that you have and how that will be applied to maybe improve their program or improve their lab. something that adds to them. So think of that when you are arguing program fit in your statement of purpose. And again, in the SOP videos that we have on this channel, I explained that. I think I tried to explain that in paragraph 2 or 3, that you should mention, how or what you are going to bring, from your experiences, how that will add to the program or to the lab. Now, please check them out if you have not seen those videos. So this is a reason. If your statement of purpose is not strong enough, it's a significant writing sample that they are going to review, apart from publications if they need that. This is a significant writing sample that they will review to see if you are a good writer and if you are fit for their department. So you want it to be on point, to be strong. And we have done that on this channel for you. So you have no excuse of submitting a weak statement of purpose with your application. So that's it. The bottom line is you should try to make your own application competitive by making sure that you are clear enough about why you are applying for this graduate degree, and also making sure that that reason, that why, aligns with the interest of at least one professor in the department. And finally, you should ensure that you explain the program fit. Do not make them guess why you are a perfect fit for the program. And like I said, we have explained all this in our statement of purpose lessons on this channel. So please check them out. Thanks for watching the video till now. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to follow us on Bestman Academy on Instagram and on Facebook. And also, if you're on Twitter, follow me at Bestman Ojo. I sometimes tweet out gems for grad school applicants. So that's it for today. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video.